if you want to amuse yourself before I get this started and I talk about SummerSlam, if anyone remembers Where's Wally, there was that, you know, that guy in the book, and he'd be all over the place, and you'd have to look through the book and you'd find him. Sometimes he's in the corner, sometimes he's right in the middle, sometimes he's over there. And it was even a TV show, and if anyone of my age remembers, they remember the theme, where's Wally? I think that there should be a new version of it for us, the wrestling fans, and it should be Where's Riley, as in Alex Riley, because I have not seen that man on TV forever. And then it's like, where's Wally with him? You know, can you see him? Can you see him? Is he in the back sipping coffee while Cena walks past? Is he in the trainer's room? Is he going to do a breakup of a fight or something? Is he going to do something? And I just spotted him during Raw, actually, as they were announcing Bryan and Cena, right in the corner behind, of all people, Zack Ryder. So let's make that a new game, everyone, on the YWC. Where is Riley? So what I want to talk about right now, SummerSlam 2013. Let's just get straight to the point. This so far has been the most interested I've been in a SummerSlam, and I want to say since 2005, probably. Yeah, I'm going to say 2005. And just a little back history as to why. I have felt personally that SummerSlam has not been as big as it could have been over the years. I think 2002, to me, arguably top to bottom, was the best SummerSlam they've ever done. If you want to talk about in-ring action, things that they had to promote, you had Rey Mysterio, who was just coming in. You had the return of Shawn Michaels in the heated grudge match with Triple H. You had a very solid undercard. You had Brock Lesnar versus The Rock. You had everything there. You had a lot of ingredients for a great show, and it was a great show. 2003 was decent until, you know, Triple H beats Goldberg without actually doing anything. 2004 is one that can't really be celebrated, even though it was an okay SummerSlam. I mean, the most memorable thing is the one thing we can't really talk about: Orton beating Chris Benoit. And in 2005, which I actually did get very excited for and very hyped for, because they did Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels as the main event. They had Matt Hardy and Edge, and at the time, before it was a disaster of a storyline, but at that time there was that controversy there with those two, and, you know, Lita and all of that. So that was a big thing at that time. You also had Cena, who was still likable back then before he, you know, became what he is now. Cena was on that card. You had a lot of elements, and it was a pretty decent show. And then I found that after 2005, my interest waned, and at the same time, the importance and the value and the hype and the astronomical, I can't even say the bloody word right, the big time feel that SummerSlam is supposed to have, you know, where everything reaches fever pitch in the summer, I just felt that it wasn't there. And 2006, it was just kind of a, you know, a there card for me. 2007, Orton and Cena for the first time, which was, you know, pretty cool for the first time, but I wasn't really pumped for that show. 2008, Batista and Cena, which should have been much bigger than it was, but it wasn't. 2009, Randy Orton and John Cena for the millionth time, who cares. 2010, Nexus, which, you know, it got some hype at first, we were all hyped for it, but then look at the end result. Do I need to say any more? 2011 was not what it could have been. 2012, you know, what was on 2012? Punk had just turned heel. Del Rio was having his 100th shot at the title. Sheamus was trouncing everybody. And, oh, Lesnar and Triple H, which the only thing that's memorable about that match was the fact that the fans rejected Hunter at the end. And, you know, when he's trying to get sympathy at the end, Triple H, sorry buddy, to the little kid, and the kid just turns his head from him. That's the only thing I really remember from that SummerSlam. So, this year, why am I hyped for it? Why am I hyped for it? Because it feels like there are a couple of matches and a couple of developments that have taken place with people that I am invested in, that interests me. And starting from the top, I did a video called Let's Have the Summer of Daniel Bryan, and a lot of people have paid attention to Daniel Bryan and the hype he's been getting and the praise he's been getting, and it's all justified. People thought he was going to win Money in the Bank. He didn't. Well, everyone believed he would win Money in the Bank, go on to SummerSlam, cash it in on Cena. Didn't happen like that, but he is wrestling Cena. It's a match that fans want to see, and when fans want to see it, there's nothing wrong with giving them what they want to see. And it looks like, well, we are getting Daniel Bryan and John Cena, and it's a fresh main event. Consider it. So yeah, no, let's go. It's a fresh main event. Sure, they wrestled once before last year, and they wrestled another time when Cena was still an underneath guy, and Bryan was just he wasn't even under developmental the other time. But now they're both bigger stars than what they are. I think it's a fresh match. I think there's a lot of elements they can play with and some tools they can play with. It's alleged they're going to do a storyline involving the Bellas or referencing the Bellas, which I'm not too sure about. I think that the match sells itself. Let them cut promos on each other, have some kind of angle to build the heat, but all in all, that is a fresh storyline that I want to see, match that I want to see. And you know, Bryan has been pushed very, very hard, so I'm glad that they're doing that. Match underneath that is Lesnar and CM Punk. Now, again, another match that people want to see, and I never thought that match would happen, to tell you the truth. If you'd asked me a few years back that we'd see CM Punk and Lesnar, I wouldn't have believed you. I'd have said, you're kidding, Lesnar's fighting in UFC now, he's not going back to pro wrestling. These things changed, Lesnar's back in the company. I thought he would only feud with all the, you know, the Hunters and the Takers and the Rocks and Cenas, and now they've taken him out of that and they've put him into a program with CM Punk. And I'll tell you what, I have always wanted to see something with those two since last year, since Paul Heyman returned and he was managing both of them. I really wanted to see the two of them form some alliance with each other as the two top heels on Raw, just running and wrecking shop there with the Shield as well. I always wanted to see that, and then eventually lead to something with the two of them. It looks like we're just going straight into a program with the two of them, and again, a fresh matchup, a big matchup, something we've never ever seen before. That interests me, and again, I feel that I want to get this right here and part with my cash to see it. What else is there that interests me? Okay, you've got the Wyatt family, and what are they going to do with them? I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do. I have heard, and I believe, if you believe Dave Meltzer, that apparently they're going to do something with the Wyatt family, Kane, Undertaker, and now it looks like Mark Henry. So it looks like there's going to be something involving the Shield. No, sorry, the Shield? No, sorry, the Wyatt family. Sorry, Freudian slip there. The Wyatt family and fucking hell, the Undertaker, Kane, Mark Henry, Undertaker and Kane. It looks like they're going to do something with those guys. And again, I'll tell you what, I said it a year ago. I think that Bray Wyatt is one of the next big things, one of the future stars, one of the bright spots in the company, and anything involving him and The Undertaker is money in my opinion. And if it happens, and it looks like they're going to do it, I would love to see that at SummerSlam as one of the big matches there. And again, it gives that card that big time feel. That's if that's happening, because I have heard that Taker got injured during the Dean Ambrose match for real, so who knows. What else is there? What else is there? Oh, the Shield. Now it looks like they've cooled down on the Shield a little bit, and apparently one of them or two of them have upset people behind the scenes. Now, depending on whom you believe or what you believe, you know, you'll come to your own conclusions. But it looks like they've cooled down on them. It's a shame, but they're still getting a push, but not the extreme push they're getting that they were getting earlier in the year. It looks like the Shield are going to be involved with something with Mark Henry, perhaps, and it also looks like Dean Ambrose is going to feud with Christian. So I think that would be a good feud for Ambrose, but about the other two, I'm not sure what they're going to do. But I will say again, the one thing you can rely on with the Shield is you're always going to have excellent matches, and just for the sake of having an excellent match, them being on there is always going to help, and they are over to an extent. I don't agree with what Don Tony and Kevin Castle said completely. I believe that they are over enough, and they do have credibility, and they have been established where, you know, they've become a big part of the show over the last year. Outside of that, what else? Well, you've got Jericho. I don't know what they're going to do with Jericho. You've got RVD, who's back, who didn't show up in TNA shape, as the joke goes. He actually looked, you know, like he'd lost a bit of weight. He looked pumped up. He looked motivated. What are they going to do with RVD? I wanted to see RVD and Dolph Ziggler if Dolph was still world champion, but unfortunately, again, they're not going to go in that direction. So it looks like Dolph is doing something completely different, which we'll get onto. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted by the, I don't know if you can see the flashing lights. Hold on a second. I swear it wasn't me. Oh God, Zoof has come to get me. Zoof is coming to get me, oh God. So anyways, if you saw my Chris Weidman video, you'll know what I'm getting at. So yeah, it looks like they're going to do, oh, well, it doesn't look like they've set anything with RVD, so who knows. Dolph Ziggler. Okay. Dolph has turned face in what I thought was a very interesting match with Alberto Del Rio. They are slowly building and brewing and pumping this guy up for a babyface run. And I just knew that at some point they would have to have AJ Lee and Biggie Langston turn on Dolph. And they have done that, and I think they've done a pretty decent job of it, with AJ being the psychotic girlfriend that she is, and Biggie Langston coming out looking like an absolute barbarian, whacking Dolph around and destroying him with that move, which looks like it hurts him more than the guy he does it to. But either way, I think that Biggie Langston came off well, and again, that's a good undercard storyline that they've built up that actually has some heat there, and there's a lot of things they can do. And again, I mean, I'd be intrigued to watch it. Now, the rest of the card has time to take shape. I don't know if I'm interested in anything with AJ Lee and Caitlyn. AJ Lee involved with the Dolph Ziggler storyline, of course, interests me. AJ Lee and Caitlyn doesn't interest me so much. Look, you've got a girl that's muscular, you're going to start calling her fat. I mean, it just makes no sense to me. But, all in all, thus far, I'm far more interested and hyped up for this SummerSlam than I have been in a long time. And a big part of it is because most of the key matches or developments have got new people or newer faces over the past 2 years. You've got Daniel Bryan in the title match. You've got a fresh match between CM Punk and Brock Lesnar. It looks like the Wyatt family are going to get involved. It looks like the Shield are going to get stuck in there too. It looks like a lot of new things that are going to happen. So I'm a little bit more interested. I want to know what people out there think. Is everyone else out there hyped up for this SummerSlam? Even though it's been 1 week so far of the build, are you hyped up for SummerSlam? What do you think is going to happen at SummerSlam? What matches do you want to see at SummerSlam? Are there matches that are set in stone that you don't want to see? I wonder if there are people that don't want to see Lesnar and CM Punk and want to see something else. What's going to happen? What do you feel is going to happen? Is this going to be a big show? Is this going to be a great show? Are you going to pay to see it? Let me know. Write down your comments. Comment, rate, share, subscribe. Do whatever you want. Hopefully Zuffa don't send the police to come out and take me away. And I will be doing my next video in about 5 minutes. Guys, take care. I love you all. Peace.